This video is entitled, I'm requesting to promote the nuclear family again. Well, I say I'm kind of requesting that, that people promote the nuclear family again. Because right now, it's been hard. And allegedly there's an agenda. Well, I had a recording to go with this, but then I had to do the voiceover thing, and I just want people to promote the traditional family again. And somebody can pray into it, and maybe somebody will, watch this video, the right person, and just pray into it and just start promoting the fellowships again, because it's getting evil out there and been very scary out there. And I'm going to have to leave that there at that point right now. Hi, it's me again. I'm going to try to be kind. Just like I said previously. And I had a video that I was and I was going to just have the audio from last Thursday, and I was going to upload it, and I didn't get around to uploading it, and you might hear a plane in the background. And I tried to find a nice, quiet place, a quiet, safe place to do this video, to wear these sunshades and wear my All-American hat to do this video. Now, I'm going to take this off right now, and so you see I wear my hair natural. And right now, and then I'm going to take these glasses off so you can actually see how I look. Because, people need to know how I look. And I'm sitting in the car holding this phone, and let's see if I can put it in a way I don't have to hold the phone. I'm actually parked this time, and I have some things. I have some requests, and hope the bad tooth in the mouth doesn't distract you from what I'm trying to say. Now, I'm here, and I have a lot on my mind. And in the wake of a whole lot of things going on right now, there are things I have a request for. I have a request for some good, strong people that's not brainwashed. And somebody might look at, why are you requesting that? They thought, a lot of the population don't even know what's going on. They, and I'm like here like this, and I'm like saying this, and I want to be honest with people. And as a single person, and I just turned an age that I turned, and I'm at the point where if I'm going to say what I need to say, I'm going to say it. I'm going to have to address it, because I get tired of telling people over and over again these things. This is America. A lot of the men have been feminized. Quite a bit of guys have been genetically modified by the thing in the arm, like some of the, allegedly. I say allegedly. And allegedly, there's, they put stuff in the food and in the drinking water. Allegedly. And I'm not supposed to talk about things. And ever since, and this has been on my mind, and ever since that Remainder One situation, the place of my employment, and I still bring that up every now and then, because it pinpoints a point in my life where I had to realize that I had to really get myself together, and how I really present myself to people and how I approach people, because And once I get this tooth fixed, I have less stuff coming out my mouth or wherever. And I try to be come to a place that's quiet. And I have a heart for people and how to minister to people. And my heart is out to people who have dealt with the hurricane thing and have dealt with all kinds of alleged weather situations, manipulations, allegedly. But I'm sitting here, hopefully, I was trying to get at a quiet place, but you hear the motorcycle in the background, and I was trying to avoid all this noise, hopefully, being that I'm closer to a police station. Hopefully nobody come over and try to mention something to me about anything. I don't have a cold. Anyway, truth be told, I wanted to go out of town. I wanted to do something around that time, around my birthday. Unfortunately, things are expensive and too expensive to do a last minute trip right now. I just have to go another time. I have season passes for different parks and everything, but that's not what I was coming to talk to y'all about. We have to address the feminization of the men, a little more masculinity of the females, and we have to address these things. And hold on momentarily. Okay, we have to address these things. A little celery, because I just ate a little piece of celery because I had blended some stuff. Because I like to use the blender and blend things in the blender and make my juices and stuff like that. So I had to leave over close to where I live at the time. And I had to come and go somewhere else to do this video. And what I really would like, and this is what people have to address, what I really, really would like is people to promote the nuclear family again. To promote mommies and daddies. And all this crap, all the modern family. Promote mommies and daddies. I get it that everybody can't have that situation. And some people have, divorced or widowed or whatever the case may be. And there's no chance of them ever getting in a relationship again. And some people have been so hurt and they don't want to get in a relationship again. But there are plenty of people who would like to be in a relationship, would like to be married and have babies. At least one baby, if not more than one. At least have the nuclear family. And that is not being promoted enough across many fellowships. And you have to address that. And if we don't address it, it's going to be a problem. And when we come around to this is around the time where people are voting, they got to get it that there are a lot of people who really, really want the nuclear family. Everybody isn't all going around doing things and being careless with their body. All females, just because they're single at a certain age, didn't mean that they played around as a younger person. Didn't mean that a female at this point is trying to just have a friend with benefits. And if people know what that means, a friend with benefits. And I'm at the age where some females who they just want a friend with benefits, or just a friend, or just acquaintance, or whatever the case may be. And when I tell people, when I try to explain people that I didn't experiment, and you have some good looking ladies and different ones who like to go both ways, who like men and females, and the guys that like him. But I ain't that one. And I had to explain to a lady, I had to explain to people, and I explained to this lady on my job, and they didn't understand why we were in the MDO, things with the MDO office, that they made me feel uncomfortable. And not just that, it's just I'm tired of people trying to hook me up with somebody, or y'all look good together, or you and this person at work, or this person, or want to match me up with somebody, or think that I should just have a boyfriend and not a serious committed relationship which means with a man and a woman. And I'm going to let y'all know, before we go any further, I'm a biological female. I was born with a vagina. And I want to actually connect and marry a guy who actually was born with male private parts, with a penis. And that's what we need to promote in society right now. Men who have penises, women who have vaginas, coming together as a couple in agreement. You just can't have two good people coming together. They have to be agreement on a spiritual level. You can't have a guy, you don't have people at different religious faiths come together. Yeah. I'm a Christian female. I don't want to hook up with a Muslim or a Hindu guy, or somebody that's not going to any fellowships or anything like that. How would that be to me? I already had that problem before. I haven't been in that many relationships. My last relationship was actually in my 20s. And that didn't go too well, and I don't have any bitterness against the guy or whatever case. It just didn't work out. I'm not going to get into all the details. I'll get details on to other people who are not related online, but I'm not going to really get into it. But when you want to come in, if a people are want to be a people of a civilized society, we need to start supporting men and women, heterosexual men and women coming together in agreement as couples, as a nuclear family. Couples being faithful to each other. I ain't talking about couples that want to go and have somebody on the side. And there are people who are like that. They say, oh, we want to swing, and we want to have couples that, split up and have all these little, things going on with different people coming together, and couples coming together and doing all this stuff together. That's not the plan of God, or source, or whoever you prefer to call the creator, or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to be pressured and get all depressed because I'm not in that relationship. But there are some people who are younger, like me, who's still young. I haven't turned 50 yet. And there's some people that are over 50 who would like to be in a monogamous relationship where both couples are faithful to each other with respect, no abuse. Nobody in the relationship is no controlling woman or no controlling man. No abusive man, no abusive woman. So, men and women coming together in agreement. And you have to be agreement on the career level, whether she wants to stay home and work or she wants to work. And you can't get in a relationship where a guy wants to see if a woman has a career and you get with her. Y'all have to, y'all have to decide whether she wants to continue her career. Especially if she had a career, where she had to have education on. But a lot of people, everybody doesn't want to work a full-time job. Now you have to figure out a way where y'all can work together and a proper income comes in. Right now, the situation you might need two incomes. But you have to have a way where you can work it out. But the man has to be able to say in a relationship, before coming in a relationship, looking to be able to cover the bills. His income should be able to cover the bills and take care of the family. Not saying that, a woman can't help, but she's the help. She helps the man. But the man has to be able to be the sole provider. Now, unfortunately, a man can come in a situation where within the last few years where he loses a job or is forced to, for instance, having to quit the job or decide between his employer or doing something that goes against his moral value. So that has something too. And you can't knock a guy if he loses his job or position or whatever the case may be, because he doesn't want to go against his moral value in his heart. And he knows something is wrong and he doesn't want to keep his job, get along to keep his job. So a woman should be able to support that man's decision, even if it's, but you have to be able to be with the guy if y'all go down to nothing. Because there are people right now that's going down to practically nothing and they lost their house and everything. So you should be able to stay with that man. Not and that has nothing to, and you don't know. And the job where he worked at or what you work at, you could, situation where he worked and his job or whatever might have got destroyed. But we have to be able, as a people, to be able to take care of people. Now, my heart is to connect with people, and I would like to connect with, have a heart to connect with somebody that doesn't mind traveling. Because I like to travel. I like to go to the theme parks. I got season passes. Season passes for like SeaWorld theme parks, Six Flags, and I just got the Fun Spot one when I was in Georgia the other weekend. I was planning to get back to the Florida locations, to the Florida locations of the Fun Spot because I had to see before the year is out, so I had some more time off. But I couldn't go there, recently, this week, the week I'm doing this video. But we had to address the importance of the nuclear family. And this thing, all this people talking about, married to Jesus and all that type of stuff. That's good and dandy, but that doesn't place a significant other with body parts, with male body parts or female body parts. So, and we have to be in agreement on a woman has to be in agreement. If she's on social media and you're not, you gotta realize that she's on social media and she's not gonna you want her to just get rid of her social media because she's with you, or vice versa. You just don't have to picture you on your social media. It's just that you have to somehow find a way to be able to be with a person who is on social media. You got, just say for instance, I have a YouTube channel. There's some people I watch online have a YouTube channel. Every now and then you might end up finding out how their spouse looks or whatever the case may be. So if you don't want yourself out there or whatever the case may be, guys, don't hook up with a lady who has a big social media following. And I don't have no fans only and trying to show my body out there like that. And I don't have that excuse, that reason why I'm single, because I've never really put myself the most. If I had took a picture of myself online, I was covered up. If I have an outfit on, I was covered up. I didn't have like something like really something showing my body or any cleavage or stuff like that. The most people might seen if I had swimwear on. And now my new swimming suit that I got on Amazon, the new swimming suit I got is like a short sleeve, and it comes all the way up, and it comes all like how this shirt is. See how this shirt is? It comes all the way up, kind of like right here, and then I have shorts, and it's not shorts. It comes at like kind of like a mid-thigh place on there. So that's another thing too, that how a female dresses. Now, if you like a female and you don't care for how she dresses, or vice versa, a female or a male, on how he dresses, as far as if you think they dress provocative or whatever the case may be, why are you hooking up with them? You're not going to just tell somebody like, you got to cover up a little bit more, and you can cover. But if a person, and every time, and just because some people get deeper in the Lord, everybody didn't get the memo. And I had to learn some things as getting older, and how to cover up more and everything like that. But for years, a lot of my stuff has really been covered. And if I wore something, like pants, like might have been a little tighter, I had like usually try to wear a shirt longer, or a dress or a long sweater long enough to cover it. And I try not to, and then I don't have, and that's another thing too, to the men and women. There are females who didn't have any operations or anything, or didn't have like taking hormones and stuff or any sex change hormones and stuff. Some women have little tits. Sometimes their tits are not big. They was born, like me, I ate a lot of onions. I heard onions cause testosterone. I don't know. And they heard that wearing a bra kind of causes, stumping growth on your up top. And I'm addressing a lot of things because there are guys who will look at somebody who, good looking like me, and they look at the front and they're like, did you have surgery? What's going on right there? And they, I'm like, only that would be special for whoever the person marries. Because a guy has to realize what you see, what you get. And some women, they don't have a lot up top. Just like females talk about the down at the bottom. And I'm addressing all kinds of things when it comes to things that people are looking at in a heterosexual relationship. All types of appearance. And me, whatever guy gets with me, he's just going to have to know I don't have a lot up top. And I don't you see I have a covered up shirt right now. Even if I had more, I still would wear a cover. So that's to cover a covered up shirt, not anything too tight. And that's another thing when attracting a spouse. Certain things, not too tight, not showing a cleavage, not showing, too much. And even with your swimwear, And I'm going to and another things I had to address, everything. And a lot of ladies did talk about that. And I'm addressing it. And even where I wear if I go to the gym, I hadn't been in a while as of this video, which I am going to get back because I had the Planet Fitness Black Card membership where I can go to any in the world in the Prince not just Prince. Anyway, I'm in the Prince George County, well in the U.S. Okay, I wish I hadn't had the nose situation, but I don't have a cold. I haven't had it, maybe because I haven't been having problem with runny noses and stuff like that, because I drink a lot of juice and I blend a lot of lemons. That helps your skin too, with the lemons and stuff like that, and try to limit myself. You got to limit yourself on certain sweets and certain things like that. And see, that's another thing. And when I get a chance, we're going to try to get this straight. But right now, I want to catch up on certain financial situations, and I want to be able to, I want to buy property. And it'd be nice to buy property with a significant other. And then we have the property together. Just say we have a property or condo or something in different states, because I like to travel to different states. I like Florida and Georgia, and try to get getting the property. You don't have to get a big property. You just get something like a condo or something like that. It don't have to be a big one. Just have some land and have a portable house or something like that on it. Try to find somewhere where you know that it won't have probably a hurricane problem. Now, Florida, in different times in Florida, they've had situations like recently, as of doing this video. But my heart is to be able to have a structure, something, have structures that is affordable, that portable housing and different housing where you could build that's really sturdy, that could withstand long certain weather, inclement weather conditions. So whoever gets with me, I have a heart to really help with people, just housing and stuff like that. And when you talk about affordable housing, and I'm not talking about people that qualify for Section 8. I'm talking about affordable housing people who don't qualify for Section 8. Because everybody is not going to qualify for Section 8. Because some people, just like example like me, I go try to apply for Section 8. They're like, you're making too much money. So you have to have a situation where whether you have affordable housing for people who Section 8, and affordable housing for people who make too much money to qualify for Section 8. You have somebody in between. You got somebody in between, or a little bit higher income, but have a lot of expenses and a lot of debt. So you have people who have higher income, but they have a lot of debt, and they can't afford to pay but so much on rent and housing. Like now, you have a lot of, situations doing this video, a lot of inflation. So we have to address those situations. We have to be able to house the homeless. And people can't, you got all this stuff with the right now, who has quite disturbing that migrants, I'll say, you know what I mean, migrants, or the term illegal immigrants, are prioritized housing over people who been living here and homeless on the streets. And people wonder where all the California ones are going to. And then to be honest, We can't talk about how people are possibly unalived. And I'm not going to get into that. And that's not what this video is about. But there are a lot of people in a lot of situations who they'll make it look like they got lost, or somebody, or kidnapped, or we can't find them, or suicide. That's one that they, tell, and they unalive people, and they say, oh, they died from that illness or that illness. But I'm not going to get into that. But that's not what this video is about. I say allegedly. But right now, I would say allegedly, there's evil agendas, the alphabet agenda. And they want to make sure they can feminize as many men as possible. And they want us melanated ones to go along with it. But we have to address the issues. I just request, it's nice to have a good friend or somebody to travel with, because I like to travel and I want to be able to, and I want to have property in Florida and maybe in Georgia, because those are, some places that it's good to have property in, because I have this is a lot of stuff on those ends, and different ministries that different ministries over different certain states that I don't mind fellowshipping with, that I know about and that I fellowship with. But right now we have to address this, and if we don't address this, I'm getting tired telling people that I'm not gay, that I'm not bisexual, I'm heterosexual, and I'm attracted to only men. Now, I have a preference on the type of men that I'm attracted to, but I'm not going to get into it on this video. But we have to address it. And there's an evil agenda, and a lot of people in these Christian fellowship ministries aren't addressing, because a lot of the men and even the leadership has been feminized. I'm gonna got another video about some of the leaders, related to the leadership, but I will address this. It needs to be addressed. We can't act like it's not there, and Jesus not gonna replace Jesus doesn't replace somebody with the opposite gender, the opposite private parts. Now, for me, Jesus doesn't replace an actual man with a penis and other private parts and other man parts. I know that they like to tell people like me, oh, just wait on God and he'll send somebody to you. Stop telling single people that. Stop telling teenagers that. Stop telling everybody that. Because I'm tired that the church has been telling people, giving people a false hope that they're going to get somebody, and there's no guarantee that they will get somebody. So you have to address that. You have to address it. And I'm tired of people telling me, just wait on God, or just, he'll send you somebody. He has somebody for you. Stop telling me that. I don't need any more, prophetic words are nice. I appreciate them over the years. All the prophetic words I've gotten. Because, I've gotten from, I would say I had a diverse group of different individuals that have said different things to me over the years. Not just melanated people. A diverse group of people over the years have told me all kinds of things. They prayed with me. And people have made me feel bad. And that's evil and satanic. And I will say this to all the people who make it look like a single person wanting a spouse and struggling as a single. And it doesn't mean that they're struggling downstairs because they're struggling as a single. And I'm tired of these preachers acting like it's all about what's going on downstairs. Sometimes you have a desire to be with somebody and not be by yourself. Not that you can't be by yourself. Not that you can't live the single life. I've done things. I enjoy myself. I go travel and do things that I like to do. I go to the theme parks. I started back going to the theme parks more, and I go to a water park or whatever the case may be. Because like a few weeks ago, last month I went to the water park, and I went to the water park at a I've been to the different water parks within the last month or so. And it's just me. Between August and September, have gone to either one water park, because I went Water Country USA in Williamsburg the other weekend, and then I went to the other other week I went to the Six Flags. The August I went to the water park at Six Flags in Georgia, and went to the water park at Six Flags in Maryland. Maryland was the last weekend, was the second weekend after the other weekend was the Labor Day, and then the following weekend after Labor Day was the last for on Maryland. And I posted it online when I went. And I like to be with a guy who likes the water slides and not necessarily, all them roller coasters. He can ride the roller coasters. Then I'll just ride on to something else, and we'll ride stuff together. But the thing is, I like to be with somebody that likes to travel, go to the theme park, get on the rides, the water rides, we can have us, when you have kids, go as a family, and, all kinds of things. I don't mind having a pool, like to have an indoor pool at, where we live in. I don't mind building a pool. I had it in my heart to die for a while to, if I'm going to a house or wherever that don't have a pool or wherever, building a pool, and conversion vehicles, taking a bus, converting it, and building stuff inside it, putting stuff in the bus, and all kinds of things. And I don't mind being with people, like different people. Person that likes to travel. That likes to travel cross country. We hopping it, not too much ahead of time. We just be off and they're available, or we both have the jobs, or we put in the leave, annual leave. If he's still working a regular job or business or whatever case may be, we designate time for leave, and then we get together and we, go road trip, go cross country. Now, I will get in the car. People know me, I'll get in the car and I'll just drive 10 to 12 hours. Just the same, get in the car by myself. But it's nice to have somebody with you. And all these people talking about this woman travel, and all that. Do not have a cold. And by the time I get to the people, I will not be coughing. Because I have natural remedies. There are all kinds of natural remedies for all kinds of things. And that's somebody I don't mind connecting with too. Somebody that believes in natural remedies, not just popping medicine all the time. And, try alternative, medicine. But that's another thing in itself. But we have to be able to have, I just don't mind having somebody that has a heart. That has a heart for the people. That has a heart to see people delivered and free. That people are, because there are a lot of people that are struggling, need strong deliverance, demons cast out of them. Don't mean that I'm, there at the point where we're able to really do that, but you should be able to have a situation where we have access and know somebody that can help these people, person to get really free if they're really in bondage or whatever case may be. And that's the thing. We had to promote people coming together. And they can't just tell people and tell women, tell society, will tell you as a guy that this woman doesn't want to settle down because she likes to travel. I'm like, then men like to travel too. Travel together. I got a couple at church that they'll travel together, older couples. And they'll go different places and they'll get on, that likes to travel. And people act like that just because somebody wants to travel and have traveled a lot. I've been traveling years by myself. I've traveled different times. I've had people with me. I might have one person with me. And that we end up staying in different accommodations or different rooms or whatever the case may be, or different, places, or just had drive back or different places. But it's just that the simple fact is, people have to address in the fellowships the nuclear family. We can't just talk about all this stuff about knowing Jesus. And it's some, people talk about knowing Jesus. Yes, I get that, knowing Jesus. And you knowing Jesus intimately and knowing God and knowing inside yourself and all that type of good stuff and having your faith and being godly and being holy and godly and of good appearance or whatever case may be, and being godly. But you also have to promote heterosexual relationships with a man and a woman. And if they decide to have kids, yeah. And if they decide not to have kids, you have to have that conversation with somebody when you want to be with them, whether they want to have kids or they don't have kids. So you're going to have a problem if you meet with somebody who they want to have kids and you don't want to have kids, or you want to have kids or they won't have kids. So you have to talk that in the first stages of the relationship. Or how many have an idea how many kids. I was ready in a relationship where I was ready to pop out babies. Different babies. I was with a guy, when I was younger, that, when I wanted 5 children. I don't know if he ever got married. He was in the area last I, crossed paths with him, in the Maryland area. But I would have popped out them babies. And I had a heart still think about multiple births, twins, triplets, quadruplets, and all that type of stuff. And having all the little babies. Yeah, I know that's expensive. Babies are expensive. And they keep you up late and stuff like that. And I work different hours. And then we have a team and connect with people who have a team, a group of team that to help work with you and help, help with the kids. And if you have a nanny, just have somebody that both of y'all work together and not just necessarily leave the child there with the person. If you're able to trust the person, you can leave it with the person. But you have to be able to, and then you have cameras and stuff too, if you, leave somebody, but even if you know the person. So you got to be able to have a plan, and you have to be able just all kinds of things. I ain't gonna get into the schooling thing because this video is already this morning and I have to go to the bathroom. I drunk what I drunk before, and I might have to cut this video. I'm gonna cut it right now, and I'm gonna have to do some more video after I go to the. Hi, I'm back again. I was able to go to the bathroom, and these little air fresheners, these really nice. This young man, he had the little air fresheners. I was telling them back a while back, there was some young people that I remember I bought some of those from air freshener. They had the little, people that's independent distributors who were out. They had their little stuff, like when I seen the kids, they had the little, selling little things on the side, and walk up to you. They had a little crate or whatever the case may be, and they had something, and they walk up to you and want to sell that to you. It's good to help out the young person, and that's, my heart is to that. And if I had money like that, I would just. But anyway. But that's not what this video is about. People have to stop being so evil. And I think it's really evil that a lot of people of faith have made it so that your intimacy with Jesus. Let me turn off this car. I had the heat on and because it's got cooler. It was warmer earlier. And then I had the air conditioner on for a while. But that's the thing that people don't get it. You have to address about the heterosexual relationships. Because there are people, everybody isn't doing wrong and going around being with different people and hopping from relationship to relationship. Some people are, and some people, they didn't have intentions on hopping from relationship to relationship, and they really wanted to be with somebody permanent and had a serious relationship. But some people, they didn't care. They don't want to serious relationship. People like me, there's still plenty of women, who want a serious relationship. And you can't just keep knocking men and women and making them feel guilty because they want a relationship. Because there's an evil agenda out there, which you have to address that. You can't just say you need to know Jesus and you need to get your relationship with God straight, and you need to get, start praying and fasting and all that stuff. Yeah, that's nice and good and dandy. But after you prayed and prayed and prayed and fasted, you still would like to have somebody, a significant other. Some people, they're able to cope with it better. Some people, they have their kids. They have their children. Some of us, now, I would probably be a little bit more different in the mindset and in the mentality if I had children. If I had at least one child and given birth to one child, or adopted or had a child, I might not be thinking as hard in a relationship. Because I see people some of these people that had kids, these women that had kids, and they had kids, they end up getting a spouse fasting in the morning that never had kids or didn't have any kids. And I see that sometimes that happens. But you can't knock somebody who's never had kids, who has a desire to have kids, or whether somebody wants to get married. And a lot of people who are Christians. They, a lot of people in different fellowships, I say in fellowships, they make people feel guilty for wanting a relationship outside of God. You hear a dog bark in the back. See, I wanted to have a quiet video, and that's where I want to move. I want to be able to move to a place, a quiet place, where you don't hear people's pets, where you don't hear people's music, which I had to drive up the street somewhere to do this, the other part of this video, just to avoid, because I had one of the neighbors, they had on music. They were sitting out, they had music. I was going to do the video in the car. I was about doing the video in the car, but they're inside now. I was, I'm back home. And I'm not, living situation which I was. I miss when I had my place. I would just say I moved back in with with loved ones, and I didn't plan to do that. The economic situation is very, very bad, and they made it bad. And I had financial, you got financial situations, which didn't plan to have. And think about it. My car, I had, last year, 2023, in this video, I had to get, my ignition on my vehicle, which I'm sitting in right now. The ignition in this vehicle had to replace twice, less than 6 months after each other. And nobody thinks about that. And I didn't even feel, I still didn't send in the, the settlement because Hyundai had a settlement. And I don't know, maybe it's I got to see if it's too late to send in the paperwork for the settlement, because Hyundai had it. Because my insurance, Progressive, they sure didn't want to pay me the second time. Unfortunately, I had not sent in the settlement paper. And I got to find all the information I had. If I got to go back to the police part where I was and get all the information. I had the cases, number written down when I had, it was done, when my car was stolen, recovered. And then the apartment complex where I was living in, they tried to steal it. Somebody tried to steal it the night that they had security. I'm like, what's up with security? They're not. And it was sitting in that same area where I think it was had broken into before. There's a certain angle where they know that the camera is not in the parking lot. So I'm not gonna get into that. And the people that all they gave me was, the return of my security deposit. They only gave me $15 check, which was an insult, to be that my car was broken into different times on their parking lot. And they were like, they're charging me to repaint the bathtub. When I had moved out the other one before them, they knew the bathtub was tore up, and they said, and these people like, try to use stuff sensitive in the I'm like, it's not my job to use stuff really sensitive because you have cheap paint on the bathtub. It's your job to make sure when I move out the place, you take care of that. Don't tell me that I have to use, and I had like my Epsom salt and all that type of stuff. I can't, so I got to avoid using Epsom salt in the bathtub because y'all got cheap paint on the bathtub and y'all don't want. Anyway, that's not what this is about. This is about addressing certain things and certain things that need to be addressed. And you evil, and I call it evil and satanic, that many fellowships have made it all about downstairs when it comes to wanting a relationship with a significant other. They made it all about loneliness. Maybe a person might be lonely, but you make it like it's such a sin to want to be in a relationship. It's an evil agenda out there. They're trying to make it's called being a strong man, toxic masculinity, and you want a man that's, effeminate, and I pray sometimes. I'm like, Lord, I just need some strong men. I saw how weak the men were a few years ago when it came to the thing, and some men still wearing the thing on the face. I'm like, man, you know that making you look effeminate by wearing something which for something that has not supposed to allegedly have something for 90 some percent recovery rate. And I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into it. But it makes you look effeminate. That's my opinion. Or I say emasculated, because I don't want to go around that gay thing where saying a guy looks gay because he wants to choose to steal. I just say it looks that you are emasculated. I just say emasculated. A lot of the population of men have been. And a lot of men have gone through abuse and they're not healed. And men and women have gone both through abuse and not, healed from that. And some stuff you can never really, really heal fully from it. And I'll say with the men, a lot of men, they can't really, especially if men got sodomized and stuff like that, and you weren't, got, inappropriate, like with, especially if you were a child or even if you were an adult and you've been through stuff. Men go through some stuff too. And the thing that I wanted to explain to people is that it bothered me that at the place of my employment, that there are people that didn't feel comfortable with connecting or even talking to me, because, and some of them, I can look at them, they look like they've been traumatized and been through trauma. And that bothered me, that people who have been through certain things, they didn't feel comfortable with connecting to me, because I've had a heart to connect to people, and whoever gets with me would want to have a heart to connect to people that's gone through trauma and help people get healed. Not just physically healed in their heart. So you have to be able to have a heart for people. Because I've had a heart for people. And that's like back when I was in my early 20s. But unfortunately, I had not gotten with enough people who have been strong enough to help steer me towards being able to be stronger. I'm thankful for the good people that I've had in my life. I'm not going to knock at all these people and make these people feel bad that were in my life. There were people out of being out of everybody, just different people that's been in my life, through my life, or whatever case may be. I'm thankful for learning something from it, whether it was a good experience with them or was it bad. Even past relationships. And but that's life. So hopefully y'all can get out of this, and somebody will watch it and listen to the audio and realize, men and women of God, stop going along with this satanic agenda. You need to start promoting, showing men and women how to connect to each other and how to relate to each other and how to be in a relationship, how to honor each other and how to be in a relationship with each other. All this married to Jesus, and you're the bride of Christ, and you need to just be married to him and all that. People ain't trying to hear that. Stop telling, I just say, stop making it all about you knowing Jesus, and you just forget about desiring to be in a relationship with an individual. I understand. I get it. That is harder these days. But you gotta stop just promoting just faith. Because people are struggling emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And you gotta be able to connect to people. Not just say they just do all this praying and fasting. You can pray and fast and read your Bible and study your Bible, but so much. It's a whole lot of scriptures. Everybody can't just sit and just be in the scriptures. Yes, that's, being in the scriptures is nice, all good and dandy. But everybody, that can take over so far. Now, some people are in situations where they can't, Somebody might be locked up or seen this might be locked up. Yeah, but try to be able to connect this, find somebody you can talk to if you can. Or connect and reach out. And I want to you guys find a way where we can do videos and audios of more people that's incarcerated in different things that might have been wrongly incarcerated. Because there's a lot of people out there. I'm not going to get into all certain people that's wrongly incarcerated. Because a lot of people, some people have done crimes and some people have extended their sentences or whatever case may be. Or wherever. But I'm not going to get into that. That's not what this video is about. This video is about addressing the importance of promoting the nuclear family. And I will leave that. And I have more videos coming about other stuff. Just promote the nuclear family. Stop being satanic. Because my opinion that all this married to Jesus stuff and all being all super spiritual and try to make Jesus replacement and romance with Jesus the replacement of an actual person, you're being bad. I put you in class just like the people who are promoting, the alphabet situation. Yes, I put you in the same class. I don't care how much you hear from God and you hear from God. You have to at some point right now, all the people who hear from God, you have to figure out a way how to reach people. Because people are struggling as a single. They're struggling in different areas. So you can't just say you just know Jesus and all that. And just forget about, because a lot of these men and women of God, they're so prophetic that you let stuff in the world around you happen. You let all these children get abused and exploited. And I know they say where the end time stuff will, happen or whatever. But whoever I connect to, they really have a heart to see people rescued from all kinds of dark situations and find a place to house them and have a place to help these people. Because you can't just tell people to just know Jesus, because you have to be able to know how to love somebody and just learn how to hear their testimony, because people got some crazy testimonies. If I told you all the stuff that I heard within the last few years, some of y'all would be horrified. Some of you make you lose your faith. If I told you all the stuff that I found out what's going on in the world, and how directly and indirectly people who are ministers and pastors are directly and indirectly tied to that. And that's even more frustrating. Just hope that somebody actually gets this, and this gets to some men and women of God to stop being so satanic about people of the nuclear family. Because people are getting messed up because some of you men and women of God, said men and women of God, are not promoting families, are not even teaching people, men and women, how to could interact with each other. And then when you interact with each other, you show some of these people in ministry, and some of these pastors are so strict. I'm like, can't men and women in the fellowship talk? And, I'm like, dang. Because I've been in situations. There are some people who are like the controlling their fellowships like that. And you might not want to be in that type of fellowship if they're controlling, they couples and stuff like that. And they got to be approved, and you can't exchange this, information, with each other unless it's approved by the leadership. I'm like, there are ministries like that. Ask me how I know. But I'm not in one like that right now. But it's just that I'm in a small fellowship, and I fellowship with different bigger fellowships, and it's hard right now unless I'm in a ministry school or in a ministry program to actually meet other guys and other men and women. And I drove, y'all know, let me turn this light back on. Y'all know I drove all the way to Conyers, Georgia. About, how far is that from here to DMV area? I drove 9.5 hours. I just even off like 10 hours. At least 10-hour drive. Because my hotel was like 40-some minutes from where the church was. To drive all the way, the other weekend, all the way to Conyers, Georgia, to go to a family night. I ain't talking about a regular church fellowship. To go to a family night, to sit down and eat with people and have activities. A lot of ministries don't have that. And this ministry just opened it up outside of their ministry school. Because a lot of people that were going to their fellowship, is in their ministry school. And they were only opening up their family night, the activities, to people who were... I shouldn't have to drive all the way to Georgia to connect with people. I shouldn't have to go all the way to Georgia or Florida or some long distance fellowship to sit down and eat with people, or to have an activity, or sit down and talk with people. Because it's sad that I felt I was forced. I wasn't forced. Nobody was holding any pressure to me, telling me I had to go, because it was my choice. Upon the hurricane, being warned of the hurricane, decided to get up in my car, and I ended up driving through Carolina. I had some detours and stuff like that. So Fellowships, you have to do better. Especially in the D.C. metropolitan area. Fellowships, you have to do better. Because I shouldn't have had to drive all the way to Georgia. I didn't mind because I've been traveling for years and years. At least 10 years, over 10 years, like most of the time by myself, because I've invited people, and a lot of people, they don't want to go on a long journey last minute, and then everybody doesn't have money for hotel and all that. And I haven't had really close people in my life. And I work, crazy hours on my job. And that had something, to do with me not being able to connect to people all the time because of my hours. Now, I put in annual leave and something like that if somebody's having something at their church, like on a weekday or maybe a Friday or something inside, because I'm off on weekends. But someday I will be able to do stuff in the evenings. If only I had the money where I could just quit my job. But right now I have to work. And I could get getting, and the hours changed to the daytime. And right now, because of the financial situation, because I could bid for the daytime. Some people bid for the daytime. But I kind of need the money right now. I'm still interested in the daytime. But they really come in really early in the morning. But I'm not going to get... I had temporary schedules. Anyway, but that's not what the video is about. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to leave it there. And I say, men and women of God, stop being so evil and satanic when it comes to about relationships. And stop talking about all this Boaz stuff like that. That don't apply this day and time. People don't connect like that anymore. The most people connect is when they're in college. You're in college and meeting at school. That's about the only time you might meet somebody is at school, or some people are in ministry. Outside of that, you ain't really gonna meet somebody. You might meet somebody at a restaurant or meet somebody here and there, but the most people connect who get relationships, who married relationships outside of their place of employment, because people meet at their place of employment, which they discourage, where that's not a good place for people to really, connect, but some people do. And that remainder one at the place of my employment, which I still, every now and then I refer back to, I think they thought I was trying to pick them up or something. I'm like, man, I just want you to see, because you seem like you're another conservative, to check out my videos on Rumble, check out my YouTube and my Rumble channel. I just played a pre-recorded message, and then, maybe I should just spoke to the person and just say straight up, But then they would have complained anyway, because this person that complains about, complain about a bunch of people there, and they've been known to complain about people, and they get changed to different operations because they complain about everybody. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people. It's hard to work with them. But I don't have no hatred towards this individual. And I don't have any hatred towards the Asian lady who I kept telling that I'm not gay. I don't have no hatred towards you. Any of you. Different nationalities. And that's what I want to connect to. Connect to somebody who doesn't mind different nationalities and different, backgrounds. But that's another story, and I'm going to leave that there. Stop being, preachers, stop being so evil when it comes to about relationships, because it's an evil agenda, allegedly, when it comes to about the nuclear family. And men and women, heterosexual men, godly heterosexual men and women coming together, being faithful in a monogamous relation to each other, where there's no abuse, where there's a strong masculine man and a strong feminine woman. That's not toxic. I don't care how many people say, want to push that toxic masculinity. When you start talking about toxic masculinity, you're talking about feminizing men and making women more their place that they don't need to be. Yeah, I don't mind leadership, but certain leadership positions that a woman doesn't need to have. I'm not going to get into it on this video, but men and women promote heterosexual men and women coming together in marriage and having children and raising godly children that are productive in society, who think for themselves. I just hope to God that this video gets out and people watch the whole thing, because I'm tired. I'm tired as a single person having to explain to people I didn't screw around with a bunch of different men. I didn't go sleep around and I'm trying to be seductive and all that type of stuff, and didn't go around and be worldly to be single this long. And no, I didn't mess around with women and all this type of stuff. I've been heterosexual all my life. And I get tired of explaining this. Men and women, stop. You're evil. You eat people, these evil and men and women of God. You need to start promoting the nuclear family, and even if you gotta some way pray into that male masculine men and feminine women stand up in society, that men and women will actually come together in relationships, not because they was in school together and they went to college together and they met each other in school or something like that, or met each other at a church. It's nice to meet people at church, but now you can't even meet people at church now, because a lot of the men in there have been feminized. So frustrating. And I just turned 45 upon doing this video. And y'all preachers, it's not like it was 10, 15, 20 years ago when some of you hooked up with each other. It's a disaster. It's a nightmare out there for people like me who are godly. It's literally a nightmare. I got a video on my Rumble channel called, I was going to do a part 2, my current situation, part 2, but I never got to put that one together like I had. But if you go to my Shelly Love One Rumble channel, I got a video called, I got a video called, it's more like an audio. It is reading like the statements I typed. It's called In My Current Situation. Things are getting scary. So things are getting scary. It's called it's kind of entitled In My Current Situation. Go to my Shelly Love One Rumble channel. I got the Epstein flight log on there in one of my videos too. For all you people that saw the Tucker Carlson and the with Elon Musk interview saying they scared that Trump come back because he had. I'm like, the list, the information about the list, that's been over like the last few years. Different platforms, different people on different places have shared clients and different people from the list. I had a list. I hadn't uploaded. I wanted to do one that list some months ago that was more updated. But that's not what this channel is about. This video is about. And I had the E-Flight log on over a year now. I'm like, and then I'll see I say, they're scared. I said, it don't matter, but because the list been out. The clients on the Epstein been out. They've been out. I've been had it on on my channel on my Rumble channel. But see, people don't go on Rumble. They don't even know that there's things called the channel. They don't even know that there's another platform outside of YouTube called Rumble. But anyway, I'll just say a lot of my statements are allegedly. And on this video, I just say allegedly there's evil agendas. But I say that y'all need to address them. And I'm going to go. Because between that clip, other clips, this video is over an hour. And I don't think people have time is going to be sitting down and listening to it. But hopefully enough people listen to this, between these clips that came together for this video. Hopefully somebody of importance will watch it. And maybe somebody of importance or some godly minister or ministry will actually reach out to me. Somebody with a YouTube or Rumble channel will reach out to me and have an interview with me, and I can address some of these issues. But right now, I just have a request that it be addressed. And I wish I didn't have a desire to get married sometimes, but I still think about it. And ever since that remainder one situation, that situation really irked my life. Do things so much in my mind. I just think about it and I'm like, is this how guys are going to act for now? I can't even ask them in a pre-recorded message about how can you check out. I'm like, dang, man. Do I have to keep telling people I'm not gay? Do I have to? This is my life has been about? I'm just tired of it. I can, I could, I don't mind. I deal with being single and I'll just do things that I like to do. But when these people try to make it like that some of us women that aren't godly and we stayed single because we opened our legs. You know how long I've been celibate? How many years I've been celibate? Being a godly woman and just trying to be the godly woman and not you trying to be, still got this, covered up. Stylish, but covered up. But anyway, just hope somebody watches it or just listens to the audio. Because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of trying to explain to people of faith that they need to get on their game. Because there's an evil agenda. Allegedly. To reduce along with reducing the population. Making society so weak that there are not enough strong men. Because if we get, if somebody wants to take over America, you gotta the population. If the population is feminized, if somebody wants to tyrannically rule over the population, they'll start by making it look like strong masculine man is toxic. And you have to address that in your fellowships. Address that in your fellowships. Not that I'm trying to yell at you. I'm just saying. I'm going to leave that there. And I'll just, I just leave my P.O Box in the description. And I might link that in my current situation in the description. Just on my videos, check in the description. And I will leave that there. Bye.